So a white man gets killed. A white Trump supporter, a mega MAGA person. Charlie gets whacked. I got to be careful what I say because last time I went live, they booted me off the live for saying some stuff I guess that they didn't like, right? So this guy gets whacked. They still don't know who did it. At least it's what they're saying. For all we know, they could be behind it. From the way things might be looking. Because I feel like they'll do anything to get rid of the files. To make it go away. Sometimes, I mean, this administration has shown that they're willing to... They've shown that they're willing to do things that's like over the board top. To take your eyesight off of like what's really happening, right? So he gets whacked. Now all of a sudden, you got people on the right hand side that's starting to say that it was the left hand side that did it. They're trying to say already that it's time for us to load up, get outside, and take back what's ours, and all of this crazy stuff. That's what they own. They own something like let's load up, let's get outside, and let's take something, and let's take this out on somebody. Somebody has to pay for this. That's what they own. So let me get this straight. This guy that nobody cares about, I guess people do care about, but nobody on the left side cares about. No one cares about this guy on the left-hand side. No one cared. No one cares. No one even cared to even know who he was. He wasn't this famous until they made him famous. The mainstream media won't let this go. They would not let it go away. The mainstream media feels like everybody must know this name. Because a guy who is a nobody got assassinated. Now all of a sudden, that's what they calling it. When everyday people outside in my neighborhoods, in my city, in your city, a lot of these other cities, people get whacked every day. But they don't get the same kind of treatment. It's famous people, it's famous rappers that got whacked. Famous rappers that got whacked. They didn't get this kind of attention from the media. Nobody went out of their way to do this for them. So because it's him, this happened to, everybody's supposed to click up and go start a civil WAR because of what happened with him. And we still don't even know who did it, but they're trying to start a whole revolution movement over a guy who we still don't know what happened. We don't know the details, but a lot of us are starting to feel like it might have been a setup to get our minds off of what's really happening in this country. The job numbers look bad. The files won't go away no matter how much they try to make the files go away. So now that the files won't go away, so all of a sudden this happens to this guy Charlie, and we all supposed to just stop what we doing and go start a civil WAR because of this, and we don't even know who did it. And now the person at large, they're going to try to say that as a Dem. They're going to try to say as a Democrat because that's what they do. They trying to divide. This divide is getting realer and realer every day. They talking about tone down the rhetoric on the left. They're talking about the left is the reason why this happened. They're saying the left is too aggressive. But for the last 4 years, I heard this election was stolen. They took it from us. They're trying to take our country. They're trying to take what's ours. They want to take away the white man power. They want to be in control. This is what they're telling these people. And this is stuff that they're hearing. We're hearing all this crazy stuff happening in the past 4 years from the right hand side. But all of a sudden, this guy gets whacked on camera, and now it's all the left hand side fault. The left. So it's the Dems that did it. It's the Dems. So let me get this straight. It's the Dems that the reason why the economy is bad. It's the Dems that the reason why the job numbers look bad. It's the Dems why this guy gets whacked that we don't even know who did it. And it's the Dems that went after the orange man, even though he was a right-wing person, and we still haven't seen the evidence that nothing happened to him because he just all of a sudden disappeared in thin air, and they tried to say that he got cremated, but we never seen the facts for that. But what I find interesting, and I know y'all saw the videos of this Charlie guy, and I know y'all saw what happened on this Charlie guy. People started running and screaming. They saw him get hit. They started running and screaming. They were screaming for their lives. They was running and screaming. But when it happened to the orange man, nobody ran. Nobody ran when the orange man got somebody took shots at him. Nobody ran. Everybody stood there with cameras and smiles on their face and smirks and trying to see what's going on. But why is it that when this happened at a smaller situation, everybody starts to run? Everybody took off running when it was Charlie Kirk, but when it was FDT, nobody ran. Everybody stood there with cameras and watched what was happening unfold in real time, and nobody was afraid. That's even giving me more reason to believe that never really happened. So how do we know that this is not a distraction from what's actually happening in this world? The job numbers came out. The unemployment is up. The GDP is bad. Everything is bad right now, especially in Florida where I live. And the files won't go away. And now because the files won't go away, all of a sudden this happens. And we all supposed to stop what we're doing, and we're supposed to care. Now we got to watch our backs. Because if you say something wrong about this guy, I seen a video, somebody got jumped already. Somebody jumped on somebody for saying F this guy. I think they're using this as an excuse to start a civil WAR. They're trying to start a WAR amongst the Democrats and the Republicans. And we all know that majority of the minority group, especially black people, are Democrats. So I feel like they're trying to bring a race war. They're trying to create this whole race war over this guy. They're trying to make him a martyr. They're trying to make him out to be something or somebody that he is or wasn't. Nobody cares. But we're supposed to care. They want us to care. They want us to go out of our way and be in the streets and cause all this commotion over a guy who had weird ideology, who was no different than me, just a guy that's outside talking, who didn't have any rank in no kind of government. So something happens to him, he gets whacked, and all of a sudden he go down as a hero, and we should be talking about this for 2 days straight in the mainstream media, when everything else that's going on is just being overshadowed. First, you try to pull a little stunt on the bus system, and they was trying to use that as a way to say, stand up and fight back because a colored guy did something to a white person that was an immigrant, that now all of a sudden y'all care about Ukrainians because she was from Ukraine. And all of a sudden y'all care about Ukrainians because it was a black man that did something to her. Why is it that every time it's an immigrant or somebody black that do something to somebody that we actually start caring about these people? But nobody cared about that before that happened. So now all of a sudden this guy get whacked, right? So we supposed to stop our lives and go outside and light candles. What do they want us to do? We supposed to have a moment of silence for this guy? This guy, if y'all go back and listen to a lot of his rhetoric, the rhetoric this guy was talking about, he was talking about this kind of stuff. He was bringing this stuff on himself. He said that, you know, sometimes people need to get whacked to protect the Second Amendment. He said that. He said that sometimes we need stuff like this to happen to protect the Second Amendment, because all they care about is the NRA and people having more weapons on the street. And they always talking about fight fire with fire. And guess what? He got whacked. We don't know. He might have voluntarily did this, because the kind of stuff that's going on from this movement, we've seen this cult activity go on. We've been seeing this is nothing but a cult, bro. So with it being a cult, anything could have happened. This all could be a setup, and we all falling for it. Everybody's talking about this when everything else that's going on in this world, we sit here talking about somebody who's gone, who was no bigger than me, who just had a bigger voice because he talked a lot of stuff, because he happens to have a relationship with FDT. So now all of a sudden the whole world has to stop and mourn this guy. And if you don't, then you got to watch your back. If you say something bad about him, they're coming for you. Like, why do we have to act like we care about this guy? Like, before this even happened, did even half of these people know who this guy was? Did anybody care or know who this guy was before this happened? Did anybody watch these videos when he talked bad about black women? He talked bad about black people. He talked bad, like, racism, like, about this country and how all of this stuff. And now you got these white supremacy groups outside trying to start WARs over this. They're all talking about we need to revolt and we need to fight and we need to stand up and fight back and take what's ours. They're trying to take ours. How could we take what's theirs when it ain't theirs from the beginning? It was never theirs. And what we built, what y'all built was off of the back of our people. So what are we fighting over? If anything, we should be upset. And they like to talk about why African American people don't have nothing. Let's be honest. When we were brought to this country from wherever we came from, the ones who wasn't here already, because y'all know some of us here already, we had nothing. We had no rights. We were not people. We didn't have any human rights. We were property to these people. And people like this guy who got whacked like to talk about how, well, you know, it's their fault that they are in this predicament. When most of y'all were born into a better situation than we were born into, and all of a sudden it's our fault that we're in this situation. And now we're supposed to care about this guy. He's supposed to be some kind of hero because he went down because of his rhetoric, because of some of the stuff that he said out his own mouth about protecting the Second Amendment and about the stuff that should happen in this country. We supposed to like just what? Feel bad? This is the same guy that said that Mr. Floyd death was not caused by the officer and that he should be free. That's the same guy. And I got some of my own people, and I'm gonna say my own people being my African American or whatever y'all might be, in the comments saying some stuff like, oh, well, it still doesn't make it right, or, you know, this is why I left the Democratic Party. We don't need y'all in this party anyways. If you feel like that, go back to the other side. Go join the other side. Go join hands. Go put on your red hats for all we care. Because as far as I'm concerned, at this point, y'all are not no longer in this party anyways. You don't stand for nothing, then you're nothing to me. I don't even care about what you got going on. It don't matter. So go join whatever party you want to go join, if that's how you feel. And I see other people in the comments talking about, you know, this guy wasn't racist. He was a sexist. He talked about black women. He talked about Mr. Floyd. So who are y'all to say what he was? Everybody is entitled to an opinion, but not a racist opinion. Yeah, you could have a racist opinion all you want, but when something happens to you, it happens because of your opinion. Yeah, your opinion can get you messed up. It could get you really messed up. And that's just facts. So we supposed to understand this, that now all of a sudden, all of these hate groups, there's these revolt groups that have been wanting to rise up and rebel and stand for something and take back this country and make America great again. These people are starting to come out the woodworks every day. We are only 8 months into FDT term, and now we already got all these hate groups outside trying to start stuff. They keep changing the gun laws and making it easier for people to get their hands on them. And then stuff like this happens, and you know what they say? Go out and get more. Go out and get more guns. This is how you fight back. Go out and get more guns. Now, we saw a suspect picture. First, they grabbed the wrong guy. Hopefully, he gets some kind of something for y'all grabbing him and snatching him up. I hope he sue y'all because y'all grabbed the wrong guy. Hopefully, he's a Democrat, because if he's a Republican, hopefully y'all can go pick him up and take him back wherever y'all's going to take him to. I don't care about him if he's from the other side. And that's just what it is. It's our side, F the other side. That's what we on right now. So if he was a Republican, go ahead and take him and do whatever you want to do with him. But if he was a Democrat, I hope he sue y'all and take everything that he deserved for y'all put y'all hands on him. And not his other guys at large. He's not really a suspect. He's a person of interest. Y'all recovered a weapon with notes on it. What did the note say? Who hired him? Was he hired? Is this guy hired? Was he hired to go do this job? How far back does it go? Can we follow to find out who actually hired this guy? Because I don't think that he just did it out of his own. Just woke up one day and said, I'm going to go get this guy at the next rally. I think that somebody hired him. And I think y'all know who I'm talking about. I think he was hired to distract us from what's happening in this country. I don't think this guy just woke up and when they did this. I think that is a lot more than what we know and that we'll ever know that actually happened, that transpired for this to happen. Whenever they do catch this guy that's at large, that disappeared, that's supposed to be a person, I would like to know what he represent. So what happens if they catch this guy and then they turn on and find out that he actually is one of them people? We seen what happened when they said about FDT. What if he is from the GOP? What if he is a FDT supporter? What if he is MAGA 2028 supporter? Then what? Are we still starting a war? Are we still having people outside trying to create bigger problems than what we already have, which is our economy? Because our economy has been tanking in the past 8 months. A lot of people are struggling. A lot of people are broke. A lot of people are trying to find jobs. The job market has went down. And we over here talking about this guy when there's other problems in this country that we need to be worried about. When a drone strike just happened over in Poland, which is what the Dems been saying will happen next if we don't do something about Ukraine. So a drone attack happens in Poland from Russia, and all of a sudden that gets overshadowed because we want to talk about this guy for 2 days. And when it's people that are trying to say that this is not getting fair coverage, I want to know how y'all feel like this and the little train thing is not getting fair coverage. That's all I've seen for the past 48 hours. And now y'all trying to use that to say, look, they're coming for us. So let's go get them first. Let's go get them first because they're coming for us. And I'm trying to figure out, who are they talking about? Because nobody that I know is on that. Nobody that I know that I rub shoulders with or that I ever talk to is like, let's go click up and go start this WAR. Nobody ain't on that crap, man. That's the stuff that they on. We don't want no problems. We just want to go to work, pay our bills, have a couple dollars in our pocket, eat some good food. That's all we want to do. We don't want to go to no WAR over this. We don't want no civil WARs. We never asked for none of that. This is what they're trying to create. They're trying to create an atmosphere where this stuff is okay, and what's happening is we all suffering because this guy get whacked. So now everybody's talking about, it's going to be someone's going to pay for this. Now all of a sudden somebody got to pay for this when we had nothing to do with it. They don't even know the motive. They don't know why it happened. They don't know the motive. They don't know who did it. They don't know if he was paid or hired to do it. At least it's what we know. We don't know nothing because the FBI don't know nothing. They picked up the wrong guy and then they had to release him. So this is a situation. We all, the people, supposed to start up and go outside and start all of these crazy problems and do things that don't make any sense because this happened to this guy. He has that much power over us that we're really ready to take it there. And I know if y'all are people from the Democratic Party, from the left-hand side, y'all tell me, like, y'all know people that's like, we need to revolt and we need to go and do all of these things. Yeah, we lost the election. We accept it. Some people like to say we cried over it, but we know who cried for 4 years straight. And we know that. And we know that a lot of us know that it wasn't a fair and clean election, but we're not crying about it. We might not like it. We might speak on it, but we accepted it. Just like in 2016, when FDT won, we had to accept it. It was a hard one to swallow because we knew what direction he was going in. It was very hard for us to swallow it. But guess what? We swallowed it. We lived through it. We got Joe Biden after FDT messed up everything. Took all the credit for what Obama did. Took no credit for what he did. Blamed Joe Biden to this day for what he caused. And now all of a sudden, 4 years later, after Joe Biden, we have this guy again. But nobody that I know is like, let's go get weapons. Let's go start a hate group. Let's go outside and put some uniforms and march through the streets. Let's go march. Let's go storm the Capitol while we at it. Let's go march the streets and storm the Capitol and do all of these wild things. Nobody that I know is trying to do nothing like that. So the fact that that's what they're trying to do, the right side, the GOP, MAGA people, the far right cult people are trying to start, civil wars over this guy getting whacked. It's crazy to me because nobody on our side, the Dems, have done anything like that. Or try to say like, let's go out and start a whole our own civil army and let's wear boots and march through the street with uniforms on, with rifles and carry an American flag and all that. Nobody's doing that on the left side. Nobody wants to fight. Nobody wants a war. Everybody wants peace. We want peace and we want prosperity. We don't want to go to war. We don't want no issues with nobody. We want to go to work. We want to pay our bills. And we want to be left alone. We don't want to go to war. Now the fact that they're trying to use this as a weapon to form against the people, against we the people that don't want it, is wild. Y'all see what's happening. Y'all see what's been happening. Y'all forgot about the part where he said, make America great again. But y'all forgot the part where he said, take our country back. We need to take our country back. The enemy is within. This man talks about the enemy being within. This man put soldiers in American streets. He putting real military people out here to fight what? Now he's talking about the guy on the train gets the death penalty, even if he has mental problems, which we know a lot of mental people that did a lot of things with Manson and all of these other people like this. They didn't get the death sentence. I'm not saying he shouldn't get it. I don't know what's going on with the guy. And what he did was wrong. That right there was wrong. My point is, though, the fact that without the facts, we just ready to just jump the gun on that. It's just funny when it's something on the left. It's like giving them death sentence, get rid of them, destroy them. But when it's something from the right-hand side, it's like, oh, we got to worry about if they're going to get a pardon or not. Because they get pardoned for everything. Now, this guy who supposedly did this, is he from the GOP or is he from the Dems? What side do y'all think he's from? Because I don't think that this guy is one of us. We don't do stuff like that. Democrats don't do stuff like this. I know they're trying to say that we go out and we do these kind of things, but we all know who is all about the Second Amendment and marching in the streets and putting on uniforms and combat boots and saying little chants marching down the street. That's not what Democrats do. And all these, they try to make 2 attempts on FDT life and all that. It's just all crap. It's not real. It's all fake. They want you to fall for this stuff that just never happened. It's just never been true. But they want you to fall for it. They want you to fall for this stuff because that's what the hate groups and the stuff that they're out there telling people is that the Dems did this. But they don't even know who did it. The guy is still at large. At least the guy who they think did it is still at large. Nobody knows if he did it or not. He's still got to go through the system to find out if he's guilty or not. Once they actually finally catch him, if they actually do catch him, for all we know, that could be a AI image of somebody that don't exist. And I'm trying to wonder if he did it, why would he leave the weapons behind? Why would he leave the ammunition and the weapon behind if he did it? I feel like he was hired. I'm starting to feel like he got hired. And I don't know. I know some of y'all feel the same way. Some of y'all definitely feel the same way. And it's sad that we come to this, that people are getting hurt. This is not the way that Democrats do things. This is not the way the left do things. But whatever happened to this dude, it was an inside job. It's starting to feel like, it don't feel like it was something that we caused. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it was a Dem. But if it was, I would like to know why. So if that's the case, we know that if he not black, right? They'll probably catch him and he'll get a chance to have justice and he'll have a chance to go to trial and he'll have a chance to explain why he did it. But we all know that if he's any other thing than white, he's not going to have no justice. If they do find him and he's non-white, he's not going to get a chance to speak on it. We're just going to have an end result. We're going to have an end result with no real answers. So I had to get on live. I had to tell you how I feel about it. We don't want wars. If y'all are from the right hand side, listen, we don't want to go to war. We don't want that. We just want to go to work, pay our bills, and take care of our family, and that's it. We don't want no problems. I know y'all want to go there. Y'all ready. Y'all been waiting for like since 2016 to start this stuff. Actually, before that with the Tea Party, y'all been waiting to start up all of this stuff, all of this crazy Civil War talking, clicking up into all this stuff. Nobody wants to do that. We don't want to do that. We never had no intention of doing it. We don't want to do it. We don't. That's not how we move. We don't roll like that. If anything, we want the guns off the streets, but y'all want them on the streets. I don't know why y'all keep wanting to go to war. Like, what is it about y'all? Why do y'all fear? What do y'all fear about the Democrats and about the black people? Black people don't have very much. We don't have a lot. We have nothing to be, for you to be envious about. What do you want that we have? What is it that we have that, I'm sorry, what is it that we have that you want? You mad? What are you mad about? You don't want us to have nothing? We already don't have very much. With such a small population, that the fact that y'all want to come and start all these conflicts, like, it don't make any sense. And that's where it's at. We want peace, not war. We don't believe in doing this kind of stuff. I don't think we did it. So, real political, real as it gets. Y'all already know. Let me know how y'all feel about this.